morning, my beautiful people. It's Tuesday, May 13th, aka Taco Tuesday. I don't know if you can see the sky. It was actually supposed to rain about 2 a.m. I don't think it did. But it's definitely going to rain today. Don't have too busy of a day today. Not sure if we're doing Taco Tuesday or not. Haven't heard from any. Man, the traffic down there is noisy. So come on over here where the tree is down. I did get a video of the critter that's out here. I uploaded that onto another page. But here's the tulip tree for today. See, there was a tulip up there. It's gone. There's some here. See, there's very little white left. The geese are out front here this morning, which is weird. Grumpy was on the sidewalk, and a dog came through and chased him out. But, so like I said, it's supposed to rain today. Muggy. As a matter of fact, I was looking at the weather for the week, and it has actually the humidity going down during the day and then rising at night, which is like, come on, we need sleeping weather. But on this day in 1607, Jamestown was founded. So basically the start of the United States. And then in 1846, the U.S. declared war with Mexico. And in 1860, on this day, Abraham Lincoln was chosen as a Republican candidate for president. Our governor, he wasn't governor yet, he would be elected later in the year, Austin Blair, was a delegate, and he supported William Seward. And when he saw that Blair, wasn't going to, he's like, I don't know, I think it's going to be Lincoln. He moved to nominate Lincoln in a unanimous ballot. And it's been called one of the most graceful speeches of the time. Now remember, this is, 1960, just prior to the Civil War. Things were very heated, and our governor, which there is a statue out in front of the Michigan Capitol, or as I refer to him as my governor. And then on this day in 1866, Congress passed legislation to create the nickel, which you're going to go, oh, big deal, the nickel. Well, if you come in here, there is a display in the basement about the nickel. The nickel was created by Alfred Day Hershey right here in Owasso. Oh, look, the water's gone down even a little bit more. So, it all can be pretty much tied back. Oh, look, we got ducks. We don't usually have ducks, especially this early in the morning. They're usually over there. I can get around this pole. Over there on that beach. They're not usually over here. Today in 1940, Maurice and Richard McDonald opened the very first McDonald's. I want to say in San Bernardino, California. That part, don't quote me. How many babies we got here? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I bet you this is the ones we usually see across the river. Good morning, duckies. I know you're geese, but good morning. I was at the cemetery yesterday, and they had a ton of them. And this one and I got into a fight because they were determined I was not driving down that street. This day in 1950 in Saginaw, Michigan, so 75 years ago, Stevie Wonder was born. So I just called to say I love you. I just called. You get it. And then also, this is a weird coincidence in my opinion. Oh, look, it's a male and a female. We could have some little duckies around here. Mount St. Helens erupted at 8:32 a.m. local time, and at 2:58 p.m. local time, Kalamazoo was struck by a tornado that injured 79 and killed 5. I don't know if you saw it, but there was a fish that just jumped out of the water a little bit. And as you know, I'm a weather person. Tornadoes are, I guess, my speciality. Look at that. It's an egg. I hope it wasn't one of these duck eggs but the Mount St. Helens is important to me as well because it was 1980. I remember it. I remember it being on TV, that sort of thing. But it was after it erupted. I can't tell you when. I can just tell you it was after it erupted. My uncle Earl, who lives in Klamath Falls, Oregon, came here to Owasso, and he brought ashes from Mount St. Helens and put them on me. Yes, I have the coolest. Technically, he's a great uncle, but he is still awesome. Love you, Uncle Earl. And then also today in 2011 was the Joplin tornado. I was the night. Hey, hold it. Do you see the squirrel tail way up there? Good grief. Had an incident with a squirrel last night, by the way. He was on my balcony scratching the metal. I'm gonna go this way. And I'm like, what is he, what's going on out there? I actually thought it was my neighbor. And no, it was some dumb squirrel. And so I yelled at him. He just gave me a dirty look. I turned around to go get my camera, and the video is awful. I've had trouble with my phone camera the last few days. It doesn't want to record, or it doesn't, I have to constantly look to make sure it's recording, or it doesn't want to stay steady, even though I'm holding it. There's a duck down there. I don't think we've ever looked at this bench since we're here. The Green family. Dr. Irving and Elizabeth Green. So, there's a car coming down the street running a stop sign. Speeding. My guess is trying to avoid the light down at 52. But, so the night of the Joplin tornado, I had no idea this was going on. We were driving down to my nephew's graduation. And that night, we stayed in Louisville with my nephew, Bobby, or as he likes to be called, Robert now, and his wife, Andrea. They had one of those little Taco Bell Chihuahua dogs. Her name was Lily. And the night the storm hit, we got part of the storm. We didn't get, obviously the tornado did not travel that far. But we had tornado warnings where we were. And the dog kept going back and forth between the rooms. Here we go. Here's a mallard. He's floating. We would say going the way the wind blows. He's going the way the current goes. So I kind of slept through it. I guess I'm my great-grandfather. He slept through the 1911 tornado. They woke me up and they're like, hey, shut the window. Oh, okay. I gotta shut the window. And then, weird thing is being down that far, when we got up the next morning, because the next morning we were going to travel from Louisville. We were going to do some sightseeing in Louisville, which we had never done at that point. We always just drove through. In memory of Robert Ruff. So, we're like, okay, we're just gonna go. And we did some sightseeing down by the river. Got some gorgeous pictures, of course. And then, sorry about that. My camera is all over the place. There's a little bit of a breeze, but not enough to move it. I don't know why it's all over the place. Oh, this one doesn't have anything. But, so we did some sightseeing downtown. started heading south to Murray, crossed the Tennessee River. Every time I cross the Tennessee River, it's raining. I don't think I've ever had like going down. Like coming back, it's usually okay. But going down, it's always raining. And so I get as far as there, starts raining. I turn on the road to head to Darlene's, not Darlene's Road, but oh look, here's a hole. Something been digging. So I head in, towards a turn to go to Murray. We get going down and it's pouring. And oh, look at the flowers that came up. That's nice. I didn't get over here yesterday. There was kids everywhere. But the car radio siren goes off for a tornado warning, and I'm like, I gotta pull over. I can't see. And so we pull over. I couldn't have told you where we pulled over at. Like, I couldn't tell you. We were in a parking lot. Could tell you that. Got out. Of course, we're soaking wet. And go in the store. And the store just happens to be a Dollar General. Which I didn't know. Like, I couldn't have told you that driving by. Until we got inside, you couldn't even see the part of it that was a Dollar General. It was so weird. We stayed there, wrote it out. The next day was my nephew Alex's graduation. They graduate earlier down there because of the heat. And so he graduated from high school. And then we spent Saturday with everybody. Sunday morning, oh, look at this. Can you see the green coming out with the purple? We got up early. I don't know, we forgot something or something along that lines. And my brother-in-law was like, hey, we're all going to go out for breakfast around 10. Do you want to come? And I'm like, no, it's supposed to be bad. I want to get on the road. And so we get on the road heading north, I guess. And technically we head east to then head north. And we were fine until we got to Scottsburg, which I go to Scottsburg a lot because that's where my nephew lives. And so at that point, he did not live there. I think him and Elizabeth still lived in Nashville or close to Nashville at that time. And so we stop at the Subway, which I point out every time we're there. I'm like, there's a Subway. And so we go to Subway, we get a sandwich, and I'm like, we just need to get back on the road. Hit Indianapolis, and the sirens go off for a tornado for Marion County. It's like, oh no, we're coming into Marion County. Hello, squirrel. Hopefully you're not the nasty one that tried to attack us yesterday. And so we get on the loop. We start heading on 69, which I think is north. Like, that confuses me because in a few minutes I'm about to get on 69 east and west. Technically I'm going west, but so it confuses me when you get down by Eaton County and it becomes north and south. Good morning, Miss Robin. And so we go, and it's like I had a Ford Focus, and you could see the tornadoes forming over the top, like the window. And everybody kept calling me because that's when Governor Snyder decided he wasn't going to live in the governor's mansion. And people were just having these meltdowns and calling me about, we're going to pay. And I'm like, why are you calling me? Like, I can't control where the governor decides he or she, depending on the governor, is going to live. And so it's my tornado stories. Today, so I'm going to wrap this up, but I'm going to end with something cool. But today is National Leprechaun Day, so wear green. actually I'm wearing black and green. I don't know if those black's leprechaun colors, but it's what I got. I'm wearing green. I got my green hat. I got my Ireland bracelet on. And so it's National Leprechaun Day. As we talked about, it is Taco Tuesday. So, I'm all for that. It's also Apple Pie Day. So maybe you can have some tacos and an apple pie. Have a cold apple pie. It's supposed to be warm today. I think it's supposed to cool down for tomorrow. And then warm back up. So it was today, Tuesday. So yeah, I think Wednesday, Thursday, I want to say it said 83, then 84 for Friday or something like that. I want to say cool down. It's going to be cooler, but muggy. And then I wanted to end here with the all right, so when we were down by the I guess dam, best way to put it, spillway is what we usually call it. So right on the other side is a building. It used to be McLaren's Hardware, and then after that it was Magoo's. Magoo's is now moved out. I don't know, to one of the plazas out there on 21. And but on May 13th, 1969, the cabin was moved here. So we are looking at that. So see, this says this log house was built May 1836, purchased by the DNR and given to the city of Owasso. And then, so it's July 29. Oh, so it was given July 20. First church organized January 18th, 1838. And then, I believe it was out at Green Meadows Park. We were talking about that the other day, and somebody who's not from here thought it was, I don't know even what it's called nowadays. We're like, no, it's Green Meadows. So yeah, so what, 56 years ago, this was moved here to this spot. And then the castle was here, and I think at that point, the castle belonged to the Owasso School Board before it was given to back to the city, so to speak. It is actually in our city charter that we own that. Can't be sold, can't be redone. Like, there's whole fake news about them building on and all, like, none of that's going to happen. They can't do it. So you've got that. And then of course the art center, which was a house that was there. This was all houses at one point. So here, let me move over here and I can show you. So just in the last 10 years we're going to go with, and I think I'm correct on that. Exact, like close to 10 years. Might be 11, but I'm thinking 10 for Kerwood. They built this bump out so they can put stuff there and they can keep this road. They usually turn it into a one-way. They still close the road. So it is, I usually try to get home Thursday before opening ceremonies, so I'm not trapped somewhere and then have to come home later at night. But like I said, that bump out, there's 1, 2, 3 parking spots plus a handicap spot. The rest of this is not parking. This is bus parking only. And I know it's not listed as that. And they've actually talked about putting the signs up. So I don't know if they're going to. They're also talking about, oh, I apologize, of putting up signs about cleaning up after your pet, but these guys make the biggest mess. Let's leave you with that for this morning. Have a blessed day. We'll talk tomorrow.